What's going on? So I want to talk about, can you habituate even if you have loud tinnitus? So you're probably thinking, well, what is loud? Because I have loud tinnitus. At least I believe it's loud. I don't know how loud is loud. I don't know what's the loudest tinnitus out there, what's quiet, but it definitely, when I had it, and I say had it because I'm basically fully habituated, which I don't really notice it anymore. But when it was really bothering me, I'll say it like that. When it was really at the peak of bothering me, it sounded like unbearably loud, like a dentist drill amplified as loud as it could possibly be. It packed the force with it felt like a massive laser beam, and it just was like, felt like it was going to rip through my head. That's how loud it was, like louder than any normal reasonably minded person could tolerate. Blasting loud. It was so loud, I was like thinking to myself, like, there has to be something wrong with me. I have to have a brain tumor. Like, I have to be dying. It can't just be tinnitus. It can't be. There has to be something wrong with me. And I couldn't shake that, and that was kind of stuck with me for a really long time. So when I mean loud, I mean I had it loud. So at least that's what I thought. That's what I think. Now, barely notice it. Barely even audible. But so the question is, can you habituate with loud tinnitus? Believe it or not, you may not believe me, but I'm going to just tell you the volume of the tinnitus, the perceived volume of the tinnitus, has no correlation with how well you habituate. Just doesn't. There are people who have it very, very so quietly. The tinnitus volume is so like faint that they have to go into a quiet room to even hear it, and they are tormented by it. And then there's people who have it so loud it sounds like jackhammers are in their head. And these people, a lot of them brush it off, not even fazed by it. And you have everything in between. People moderate volume that are not bothered. You have people, moderate volume that are really bothered. So this sound volume doesn't have any real correlation with how well you habituate and if you go on to habituate. I have habituated multiple times. I've lost habituation, and throughout my life, has it gotten louder? At times it appeared to get louder, like if I had a setback or a relapse, but then I would rehabituate. So because I know the steps to take, I have the tools, I've been through, wrote the blueprint on how to habituate. But the thing is that it doesn't matter how loud it is or how loud it isn't. You don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you, I've worked with a lot of people. I've researched this stuff, and it doesn't matter how loud it is. In fact, there are people who are completely deaf, who that's all they hear is tinnitus. That is it. Ringing, nothing else. Can't even sound mask, and they go on to habituate just fine. So I want people to stop thinking that it needs to be a certain volume so that you need to habituate. That's not the case. It comes down to people's emotional responses. The people who habituate learn to view it as a non-threat, and they teach their brain, they rewire their brain through neuroplasticity to recategorize the sound as a non-threat. The brain then uses its natural gate system, its natural filtering mechanism, which every brain has, and it filters the sound out of your awareness. It filters the sound back to benign sounds. For example, let me explain this. How many of you were at a party, and you fell asleep and it was loud, people were, twerking and playing all this loud music or whatever, and then somebody says your name, hey, Dan, and you wake up. Why is that? Right? Surely someone saying your name wasn't louder than the music blasting. It is because your brain places a higher importance on someone saying your name. It's because someone needs my attention. So your brain triggers you. That goes to the front of your awareness and then wakes you up. Your brain does the same thing all the time. That's why if you're walking through, everything's fine, talking, hanging out with your friends, like hiking or something like that, and you hear rattlesnake, like everyone's going to be on high alert. Bam, immediate fight or flight response. Why? Was the rattlesnake sound really that loud? No, because your brain has put it into a category of sounds that is dangerous. And so when it is there and it is present, it is going to be in the fore of your existence and is going to invoke a lot of emotional, negative emotional feelings. If someone threw a rattlesnake in your room, it was just like, dude, you'd be freaking having a panic attack. I mean, I know I would. But anyway, that's the point, is that people's brains have associated this sound in the same category as rattlesnakes. The tinnitus is a rattlesnake to people. That's why they can't freak out. I mean, that's stop freaking out. Sorry. So what I do in my coaching programs and in the program that I'm building, right, Life After Tinnitus, it's how do we take that sound and take it from the snake, right, the dangerous category of your brain, and put it back into the benign category so that your brain filters it out of your existence and you don't hear it anymore. And that's habituation in a nutshell. And it's the only known cure for tinnitus. I don't care what people say. If there was a cure, your doctor would tell you about it. There was a pill to take, your doctor would tell you about it. There is no way to get rid of the sound. Habituation is the only way forward for people who are suffering with tinnitus, and it works remarkably. So I just want to tell people that. I don't want to see people go down the road of trying to stop the sound or do all these remedies or standing on your toes and taking this supplement and that supplement. If you want to take something, I would take something to maybe be healthier, to maybe make you feel better. Don't take it with the attempt to try and get rid of the sound. There is no evidence that any supplement actually does that. I know ginkgo biloba, whatever, doesn't work. It's just a myth. It doesn't actually get rid of the sound. Anyway, that's about wraps it up for this video. Thank you all for watching. But yes, you can recover with loud tinnitus. I have loud tinnitus. I've done it. People all the time do it. People reach out to me, and the sound volume doesn't dictate if you're going to recover or not. So don't let that stop you. If you're upset about that, if you're like wondering, now you have the answer. You can still habituate even if it's loud, blasting loud. All right. Thank you for watching. Make sure to comment below, smash the subscribe button if you like this kind of content. I'll talk to you all later.